Welcome to the Infill Podcast, where we interview the most interesting members of the 3D printing and maker communities, live and with audience participation. And now, here is your host, Jonathan Levy.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome. I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to talk about something that I find very important. But before we do that, one of my favorite sections in the show, which is What's Printing, Jonathan, brought to you by Octo Everywhere. As you guys can see, a lot of stuff is printing today or has just recently finished printing. What's cool about Octo Everywhere is it allows me to see all my printers, both here and at home, right in the dashboard, including my bamboo printers. You can see that I just printed a multi-board thing that finished, and I can even log in to my millipede printer, which runs on Clipper, and check on it, adjust some settings, see what's going on with it. Really, really cool. Octo Everywhere is free. Thank you, Jock, for telling me about the sound being low. Octo Everywhere is free for your first printer, and you can get a $25 credit for your premium account if you want to get all kinds of, let me fix the audio here, sorry. $25 credit, audio, come on, audio. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There we go, fixing it, and then unfortunately, I'll need to do the ad read again if you guys weren't able to hear it. Sorry, there's always, every single time, something doesn't work properly. There we go, now the audio should be good. All right, let's talk really quickly again, sorry guys, about Octo Everywhere, who is our channel sponsor. And you can see Octo Everywhere allows me to log in to all my printers remotely from anywhere in the world, my home printers, my office printers. You can see that I can monitor them in real time, which is why you would potentially want a premium account for that real-time video streaming. I can monitor them, cancel prints, I can start prints, I can even send prints from within my slicer. You can see I can monitor all my printers. And yeah, thanks Octo Everywhere. Check the link in the description for $25 credit, but your first printer is free for life. So that's really great. On to today's episode. Today we are joined by the folks over at 3D Lac. David Martinez and the CEO of the company, surprise, joined us. And we're going to talk about bed adhesion. Really quickly, I want to give a disclosure, which is that 3D Lac's competitor, Magigoo, is a channel sponsor. Fortunately, and to their credit, they do not require any exclusivity, and I'm free, thank you Magigoo, to talk to their competitors and learn about them. Apparently the sound dropped again. Sorry guys, live show, hold on. All right, I'll leave this open. Sorry, the computer lags. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Anyway, on to today's episode. We're joined by David and Jose. Welcome, guys, and thanks. And again, we'll just say, in case people didn't hear the disclosure, Magigoo is a longtime channel sponsor, but they're very gracious, and we have no exclusivity in our contract, and they speak highly of you guys, and you guys have spoken highly of them in the past, so I always love when in the 3D printing community, people speak highly of each other, even though we're all, they're all competitors technically. Welcome, guys. Most jagged intro of all time. I apologize for that. But pleasure to meet you guys. I would love to hear a little bit about you guys and a little bit about 3D Lac and how you guys got into 3D printing as a whole.
Yeah, well, first of all, hi everyone, all your audience. And well, we started the company, we're a 100% Spanish company, and we started the business in 2013. And at the beginning, it was just the solution, to find a solution for the Clone Wars. It's a community created in Spain that they were experiencing problems in the 3D printing, because they had a lot of warping, and they tried to find a solution to avoid the warping, making many tests and trying many products. And in 2013, Jose Angel here developed the formula, developed the product, the new product, the 3D Lac. just a solution to avoid the warping for the Clone Wars.
Amazing. And I wonder, by the way, so when I switch to split screen, I get half of both your faces. So either get very cozy together or there we
Okay.
go. There
Now,
we go. Some camaraderie.
yeah,
Uh, so I want to ask you guys a lot of things, which is in 2013 when you guys started out, ABS was, I think, mostly what people were printing. And I wonder, I'm a big fan of bed adhesion products and I use them quite a lot. Uh, but I wonder, have you found that over time materials have gotten better, people are printing less ABS and warping is less of an issue? Or have you found that with bigger printers and people trying more exotic materials, it's become more of an issue?
it's with the time, the new time, new challenges. So now we are finding bigger printers, over 1 meter or something like this, that require new solutions. So we are developing and adapting the new products to the new times. And but now we are finding less and less, for the end consumer, less and less problems with the warping. But on the contrary, we are experiencing, for the industrial or business clients, they are having more and more problems with warping. So now it's a little bit changing, from makers or end clients to industrial clients.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. And I think, like, for me personally, I've started using these materials less for things like PLA because we now have, super tack build plates and cool plates. And I think the technology has gotten better, the materials have gotten better. But a lot of us, myself especially, want to branch out and try more and more exotic materials. As you said, I think consumers were dipping more and more into stuff that used to be industrial. I mean, I tried printing PEEK recently, which 10
Yeah.
years ago would be unheard of. And so that's really interesting. Now, let's talk a little bit about the product and the formula. I'd love to hear about the development process, because obviously, well, tell me about the product, right? Because it's not just liquid glue stick, right? There's something
No.
different about the product and how it works and what it does. So tell the audience, like, what is in it. I mean, if you can tell us what is in it, but what's unique about it.
Yeah, this is, well, we start with 3D lac. This is the best sold, the most common, the most not renowned product, and the most common product. This is the formula contains alcohol and some other polymers that stick to the bed. It's not water and alcohol just sprayed. It contains a lot of polymers, and the formula is secret, obviously, but
Yeah,
the the contains is not the contents is not secret, and it contains mainly polymers.
I see. So there's
And
alcohol and actual, like,
yeah,
plastics in there to
yeah,
enhance
yeah,
bed adhesion.
other polymers. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, you had told me at one point, I think it's worth asking. So, first of all, the reason for that, I imagine, is uh, essentially you want high adhesion when there's heat, and you want it to automatically release when it's cool.
Yeah, when it's full. Yeah.
Now, how? Here's one thing I always think is you guys have your kind of generic product, and then Magigoo has their generic product. But as you told me earlier, you guys are now developing more and more,
Yeah.
right? Like Magigoo has a PA and a PC. You guys have a nylon, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wonder, for the average everyday user, right, who's
Yeah.
mostly printing PLA PETG, sometimes a little ABS here. How different are these formulas, or is it the case that, like, if 90% of your printings PLA PETG, stick with the main formula, it still kind of works, or is it
Yeah.
really you need the specialized formulas?
To create a new product, we need a process of around 1 year, 1 year and a half of development, making a lot of tests, just to get the final product. For example, this is 3D nylon. show you to the camera. It took like 1 year and a half to develop the product properly. Also, we released the product water-based 3D lag stick, which is kind of glue, and it took also 1 year to develop the
Wow.
formula. So every product has a long background and a long process of development, lot of tasting, um, approvals of the authorities, because we are working with products that might be a little bit harmful. So it took every development. It's takes
I
around,
work with university.
yeah. We work
Oh,
with
really?
university.
I was gonna ask which one of you is a chemist to be doing all this kind of testing.
He's
Ah,
he's the he's the chemist. I'm
very
the
cool.
tester.
And Jacques wanted to know in the live chat, how many
Yeah.
beds did you guys go through, or did you guys damage a lot of PEI beds in the process of developing this stuff?
No he entendido.
Las camas, ¿cuántas cámaras hemos roto?
Uf, cientos.
Hundreds of, we spool like hundreds of of beds. It's every different, when you're tasting any products, when you have the expectation, you expect this is the perfect formula, it completely ruins everything.
Wow.
When you get, okay, let's make another test, like, okay, let's see what happens, and you see this is the perfect test. So we find these things
I
very
imagine the
common.
hard part to that point. I imagine the hard part is not the adhesion, right? There's tons of stuff that will
Yeah,
stick very well. The hard part is probably getting it to release at the right
yeah, to,
temperature.
yeah. This is la parte, lo más difícil sería no la adhesión, sino liberar el producto una vez que.
Sí, pero bueno,
Yeah.
con las propiedades que tiene el producto,
So,
pues sabemos cómo soltarlo, cómo hacerlo,
yeah, with the properties of each product, we know how to release the product more or less. So we do during the test how to release the product, to release the piece.
Really interesting. And what have you found? I mean, one of the things that I think is really interesting is just comparing in the marketplace, right? Like, as I said, one of the things I think is really cool about the 3D printing industry is everyone can kind of complement everyone else. What have you found that you guys do really well, better than Magigoo or Vision Miner Nano, or I know there's other ones out there? And what do you think your product is the best at?
Well, compared to with Magico, with the current the standard product, the performance is, I think ours is a little bit better, but the appliance, it's much easier with Magic Go, because with the good stick is like, it's easy to
Right.
apply. Magic Go is easier to apply, and also the logistics is a little bit easier for Magic Go. But the performance from our side is a little bit better on our side, and our aim is to go to more technical products. Like
Right.
we are give you an exclusive news in your podcast. We are about to release in a few months the new polycarbonate adhesive.
Oh, cool.
So but we are step by step releasing more and more technical products, with focus on the industry, but keeping the development on the 3D lag range. With the 3D lag, also the stick this is water based, and it's like kind of magic. And also we released last year 3D lag mini, just for new users, or or small printers, or people or clients maker that doesn't print so often.
Right.
So you can we have a range of products on 3D lag. We have also 3D lag plus for ABS,
Oh, cool.
and also it's growing. This market is growing a lot, and
Totally.
compared with Magic Go, I think our strengthness is the performance, and their strengthness is the logistic and the easy to apply.
Right. You had told me at one point that because your product uses alcohol, you can't just ship it
Yeah.
anywhere in the world. It's you guys are really dominant, I think, in Europe because air freighting or direct to consumer shipping alcohol is a problem, right?
Yeah, for the logistic is a problem, but we are starting, and we did a good start in the US. Also in Latin America, we are growing this year strongly, and also we started in Asia, in China, with 3D Lag. The question is, you cannot ship one box. You have to send 2,000 units. So this
Right.
is from the downside is the logistics, but the upside is when you make a shipment, you ship big quantities. So
Right.
you have the market has a lot of stuff to sell.
Right. So any distributors out there, if you're listening, Fabrico, West 3D, you guys could be instrumental, I guess, in this whole thing. Now, I wonder, you guys have been in 3D printing for quite some time. I wonder, you know, this could get controversial, but I wonder, you've seen a lot of materials come and go. You've seen probably a lot of material companies come and go. What are the filaments and what are the filament companies where you say, like, these products adhere so well to the bed, and what are the ones maybe where, I guess what I'm getting at is, are there any brands where you're like, yeah, their polymer science is so good people aren't really using 3D lac for it, and are there any brands where you're like, if you're going to print this kind of filament from this brand, you probably should use 3D lac?
¿O qué filamento funciona mejor?
O cualquiera. En un principio, entre más puro sea el PLA,
Sí.
mejor, porque ataca directamente lo que es el patrón, luego al PLA. Luego todo el tema de aditivos, pues es lo que pueden dificultar.
Yeah, when actually the product works well, and it's the number one in, for example, in Amazon, because it works with all the kind of filaments. The purer the PLA, the better the adhesion. When you make some other components, some other additives, it might reduce a little bit the performance, but the purer the PLA is, the better the adhesion.
Interesting. And I wonder, has the rise of enclosed printers affected your business? Are people still applying these products with enclosed printers, or has that kind of reduced warping as well?
In enclosed printers, according to our sales and our business, they are applying mostly 3D Lac stick and 3D Lac plus. Not the 3D Lac. 3D Lac is still applied, but more and more people are applying the 3D Lac plus, still 3D Lac, and more the stick.
Personally, I look at it as just cheap insurance, right? If you figure, how much does a tube cost? You get 200 or 300 applications of a build plate. Like, it's such cheap. What does one application of 3D Lac or Magigoo or Vision Miner, what does it cost, right? Half a penny, maybe? And it's like, how much does the filament cost if the print fails? Or if even, I had a print fail the other day, right, where the purge tower failed, and it just made my print ugly, and then eventually the purge tower, like, this is way more than the fine. I get it, right? Like, you can't, with today's build plates, and especially, right, like the super tack and stuff like that, you can print without these adhesives. I get it. I totally get it. But it's insurance, right? You can also live without health insurance. It's probably cheaper in the long run to have insurance.
Yeah, with this one, you have around 400 applications.
Depends on the build plate size, right?
Yeah, for more or less, but 400 applications. But on the people that prints by hobby, for hobby, or for or not don't print so often, with this unit, with this can, you can have for around 1 year of printing. So it's 100 I think it works just to have a safe printing using 1-2 sprays of 3D lac,
Yeah,
just
I
to save
agree.
the print.
Now, I do
Yeah,
wonder, one of the things that you guys advertise and Vision Miner and a lot of these companies advertise is longevity, right? You don't apply after every single print. And so I
yeah.
wonder, and then this is embarrassing, but I drank too much coffee. So I'm going to run to the restroom. So answer long. Like, give me a 30-second answer. I can still hear you, but you
Yeah.
guys won't hear me. How often do you need to apply, right? Is it every 5 prints? Is it every 10 prints? Are these compounds designed to really last on the build plate for a long time? All right, here I go. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
No problem. Cada cuánto tiempo se necesita aplicar. And I would say it's about every 2-3 printings you can restick or reapply the product, because the product lasts for 2-3 printings, depending also on the size of the printers. But you might apply this for around 2 or 3 every 2 or 3 printings you can apply it. Más o menos es eso,
Sí.
¿no? Sí. No problem. You don't have to use it every time you print. Fine.
I'm back.
Thank you.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah,
When I
no problem.
decided to do a live podcast, this was something I
Yeah.
didn't think about. What I thought about was, we won't have to do any editing. I didn't think about what if I need a pee break. So I think that's also, if we're speaking openly, that's a fair comparison, right? 3D lac is significantly more affordable than Magigoo, if I'm not mistaken. Magigoo claims like every 10 or 20 or something. Like, I think probably, I think that if you compare how much per print, they probably work out to be
Yeah.
the same, because I think Magigoo is much more expensive, but I've tested, right, and 3D lac does seem to be stronger, even though my testing method was not the most scientific.
Yeah.
3D lac is stronger, Magigoo lasts longer. Would you think that that's fair, or tell me if I'm wrong, of course.
Dice que Magic 3D lac pega mejor y Magic Wood dura más entre impresiones. Dicen que ellos se necesita aplicar cada 5 o 10 impresiones.
Claro, bueno, depende.
Sí.
O sea, es que depende mucho, hay muchos factores que puedan depender de
Yeah.
ellos. Pero
Yeah.
bueno, que no comparamos normalmente
Yeah.
la competencia, no
Yeah,
solemos.
yeah. We normally don't compare
Sure.
our competitors, but we use it internally for sure, Magic Go. And I think it's for depending on the size of the printers and other factors. But I think this is the rule. Normally, every 5 printings, you have to apply it again. And 3D lac, it's cheaper, and also it's bigger than Magico. Magico is a little bit smaller,
Right.
so 3D
Right.
lac lasts a little bit longer. Even apply more often.
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb as well, just to keep everyone happy, right, is try what product you like, right? And also, I think it depends a lot on what you print, right? If you're printing a lot of, I don't know, ASA, figure out which product works best. And I do that, and I use both products. Depending on what I'm printing, I may use 3D lac or Magigoo. It's good to have options. A lot of people, by the way, in my comments, I wasn't able to get Vision Miner for the test that I did because they weren't able to ship here. But a lot of people were like, oh, Vision Miner, die hard, Vision Miner till I die. So, test the product that works the best for you, that's available locally for you. Drew wants to know, what would be the right product to use with ABS glass fiber, because that's what he prints the most with.
100% sure it's 3D lac plus.
Okay.
¿Puedes coger el bote del plus?
Maybe you could explain, okay, what's plus, what's pro? I know you have a nylon. I didn't go enough into understanding the differences between the products.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is 3D lac plus.
Okay.
This is especially designed for ABS. This is a different formula, more concentrated, and designed to be used with a nylon with fibers.
Got it.
This is For
Fibra,
all, this is for nylon with all kind of fibers.
fibra carbón,
For carbon fiber, for all these fibers, it's this is 3D Lac Plus. This is the
Got
more
it.
a little bit for the end user, but a little bit more technical.
Got it.
And this is the standard 3D Lac. This is designed for. I'll show you the mini. It's better. This is the standard 3D Lac. This is for all kind of ABS, PLA, so
Got it.
PETG. This kind of materials. This is 3D Lac stick. This is water based. This is much easier to handle. This is just like magical, And this is for PLA, PG, all these more standard materials.
Okay.
And now we have the 3D nylon, and that is designed for pure nylon.
Yeah, I've actually seen you guys printing on an open printer nylon
Yeah.
with that, which is crazy to me.
y ahora
It's
estamos
absolutely
trabajando
crazy.
propileno.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we are working with polypropylene.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but because with this product, with these technical products, our aim, our objective is just to make the market grow and make more easy to print, make for the end consumer to make and to make nylon easy to print.
Yeah.
Indeed, we have in our website we have different technical sheets for or with the parameters for every printer on for the most common printers. But we can also, if you have any specific demand on nylon, we can give you the parameters of on the advice just to how to get the perfect printings.
So it sounds like the average person who mostly prints PLA, PETG, maybe once in a while prints something a little exotic. They get a sample at, at a Smurf or something, or the RepRap Festival. Probably they just want to get either the mini or the big one, the kind of standard one, or the stick,
Yeah.
depending on where they are. It sounds like
Yeah.
location also is going to dictate availability.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly for the our clients, the most for 3D Lac are end clients, final clients that or makers that print it for hobby. You see, for example, we are the best seller in Amazon in Europe, in Germany, and also in the most renowned platforms, 3D Jake, 3D Prima. We are getting very good results and very good sales with this. Mostly focus on 3D Lac and 3D Lac stick the end client, and
Right.
also for the nylon, of course, is industry client and professional clients, for prototyping and so on.
Right.
And with also with 3D Lac Plus for ABS, also more and more. I would say both industry prototyping and also end client.
Yeah, and I think that's, not to keep coming back to comparisons, but I think that's also an area where Magigoo has like Ultrafuse 316L, and they have like polypropylene, they have one for Peak. Like, I think Magigoo does, most of their business is probably focused around corporate. I haven't asked them, but that seems to me like you guys are, in a lot of ways, especially in Europe, the consumer favorite, and Magigoo
Yeah.
is really doing well in corporate. Speaking of corporate, I do have to really quickly thank our sponsors, and speaking of being able to print Peak and stuff like that, I have to quickly thank PCBWay, who is a long-running sponsor of the channel. If you ever need to print Peak or MJF nylon or anything, even aluminum, Ultrafuse, if you need a 3D print tool steel, PCBWay has you covered. They'll take care of everything and even check your parts and your designs. I use them all the time. In fact, I have a box right here that I still haven't opened with some machined tool steel. You just upload your parts. You get a discount if you're a TNL subscriber, so use the link in the description, and they will literally just ship it out to you. It's like having millions and millions of dollars of industrial machines at your disposal anytime, so thank you, PCBWay. All right, we're back. Thanks for your patience there. So, what are you guys excited about in 3D printing right now? Like, what developments? I mean, obviously, there's just so many new materials coming out right now. This year we've seen the breakout success of all the PPAs and PPSs. It sounds like you guys are excited about polypropylene, which I think is a material that we don't see in 3D printing. Like, what are some materials you guys are excited about? And also, why is polypropylene not a thing? Why are we not printing that?
Por los nuevos desarrollos que estamos haciendo de polipropileno y otros materiales. ¿Por qué el polipropileno y qué otros materiales
Porque
estamos viendo?
la mayor demanda de ahora mismo, sobre todo de materiales, que están pidiendo es el polipropileno, como por la versatilidad que tiene el polipropileno, usos, todo lo que tiene.
For the we have to, first of all, regarding materials, we have to stay focused, and we have to focus and to stick to our strategy of developing new materials. With the polypropylene, this is the product that we are releasing because there is a high demand on this, and most our industrial clients is asking more and more for the polypropylene because it is very versatile, and the demand is we expect to be higher and higher. So this is the reason we are developing new materials, new for especially new adhesive, especially for polypropylene.
Got it.
And for the rest of the materials, well, we have to have an eye on the market, but
Right.
we have also to stay focused and to see the real demand. After the first exploding demand of booming demand,
Right.
maybe there's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
So we don't want to spend the resources and the investment with the universities on the
Sure.
development cost for to just after 2-3 years don't have any market reality or
That's
any
interesting.
results.
Yeah, there's definitely hype cycles. People get really excited about a material like CPE or something, and then kind of nothing happens. What's the deal with 3D printing polypropylene? Because you never hear about it in consumer. Like, is it that hard to print, or why is it not more common?
El polipropileno, ¿qué es lo que le hace diferente? Vamos, que por qué hay tanta demanda del polipropileno.
Por la capacidad de usos que tiene, o sea, desde temas incluso de higiene, o sea, por botellas de agua, o sea, es decir, tiene un montón de aplicaciones que tiene propiedades inocuas, o sea, tiene bastante.
This is for the polypropylene, the
Es fácil de imprimir, o sea,
the main thing is, yes, it's very easy to print. It has multiple usabilities. For example, for bottled water, for the plastic bottles of water, it has a lot of demand now not in the consumer but only in the industry.
Gotcha.
Just for the of waters, all these materials is very versatile, has a lot of properties. It's easy to print. It's not like nylon, but it's hard to print. Polypropylene is very easy to print, and we think in the market, in the industry, it will have good success.
I'm surprised that you say it's easy to print, because as far as I know, I mean, Polymaker, who's my kind of filament sponsor, I don't think they even make a polypropylene. I've never seen any of the consumer brands, like the Esons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why no one's making it.
Dice que ninguna marca de filamento de consumo masivo hace polipropileno, o que entonces que para que le choca que el polipropileno sea fácil de imprimir.
Sí, porque la gente no lo ha probado. Sí. Es algo nuevo, es algo que se está probando, que se sabe. O sea, es decir, lo que la que está apostando más fuerte es por el polipropileno, es la industria.
Yeah, with this, it's not on the for the commercial or the end user side. It's on the industrial side, which is betting and expecting have more and more growth is the industry, not the end client.
Yeah,
Not
it's interesting consumer. Why. Hey, let us know in the comments, chat, if you guys would be interested in trying polypropylene filament. I always thought that it was like impossible to print. But maybe I'm thinking of, you know what I'm thinking of that's impossible to print is HDPE, which also is used for bottles and stuff like that. And apparently that's
It's
impossible to
like
print.
¿Cuál si hemos hecho algo?
No, que es difícil de imprimir.
A ver, hay un montón de materiales que es complicados de imprimir, o sea, que necesitan temperaturas muy altas, cámaras, situaciones especiales.
Yeah, there's a lot of. We are saying that this is there are a lot of materials that that requires a special condition, high temperatures, something like this. So it's hard to print. So we have to focus on just one material and develop it. Not we don't have the capacity to attend the whole demand of the industry and the consumer.
Sure. So let's switch gears a little bit, and you guys tell me about you and 3D printing. So I'd love to hear, are you guys doing a lot of 3D printing in your business, 3D printing stuff around the warehouse? And if so, what materials are you using? What printers are you using? How do you guys use 3D printing in running your business?
Yeah. Here we have a small farm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And also we are testing where we are testing the materials, our internal materials. We are also doing the test for polypropylene, and also we are doing mainly we are using the nylon, PLA, PG, ABS on the specific materials for our internal testing, mainly polypropylene. But let me see, les podemos enseñar la granja que tenemos aquí, las 4 o 5 impresoras, no sé si estará Ricardo.
No, pero es claro, habría que bajar abajo del todo, meterse en la sala, es complicado.
I'd say that if we can show you, but we have to make a little bit, little bit of, so I'm afraid we cannot show you
the problem. Farm. It sounds though like you guys are very, you're big fans of nylon. You mentioned that a few times, pure nylon, carbon fiber nylon. And would you agree in saying that nylon among consumers is underrated, undiscovered? It's kind of like it has this bad rap, but I agree with you. Like nylon is, when it was invented, nylon was like a miracle material. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Do you feel like more consumers should be printing with nylons?
Yeah, this is a process that it requires time for the end consumer to know how to print and to manage nylon.
Yeah.
For example, the end consumer and most of the consumer, they are not aware that they have to dry the filament for just one day before using it. So they are not aware about how to use it, the things that and the process that they have to make before using nylon. So it's a process that requires time, requires investment in terms of making people know how to manage, how to print nylon.
Yes.
But with the process and the time, the proper time, I think you saw it in Formex. Last year, we printed nylon in an open printers. So this is, we can do it. But
I also feel like, and you guys are clearly more experts on nylon than I am, but I've had some brands that were just terrible. And it always sounds like I'm shilling for, the big filament companies that invest a lot in R&D, Polymaker again as a sponsor. But I really feel like on some materials, as Juan Angel said, like with PLA, the purer the better. But with some other materials, like your ABSs, your ASAs, your nylons, like some of these materials, there's a lot of chemistry and material science that goes into making better versions of ABS or better versions of nylon. And I've had some nylons that were unprintable, like literally just garbage. And I've had some that were so easy, I couldn't believe how well they printed.
Yeah, this is what we're finding in the market, because first of all, nowadays, in this very moment, we think that and we are aware that nylon is a very niche market.
Right.
So for the main manufacturers, it might have no sense just to invent a huge amount of money in terms of development, marketing, and all these processes, just to release into the market just one product with low rotation and low demand, mainly
Right.
focus on industry. So this is what we think about the nylon market, the nylon situation, and of course, according we have some partners, some filament makers that we are working with, giving us some specifications, some advice, just to make the printings easier and to make the product more affordable and more reliable on the in the while printing.
Yeah.
Just just to because also if you fail one print one with the nylon, just the cost
Right.
it's much higher than with the PLA.
Right.
So we are working in this direction, but we understand the situation of the nylon industry and the nylon filament. There's
I
in
think.
summary there's yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. In summary, I would say that there's no sense to release a new product with for low demand and no profit, especially at these times.
Yeah. I mean, I'm of two minds of it because I think on the one hand, there's the school of thought that says like most people at home, PLA and especially like the PLA Pros that are coming out now are really good. PLA and PETG, maybe ABS and ASA, do everything that most people need. So why mess around, right? Like why not just scale up the production of those? And then I think the other school of thought is like let's empower people to make even more advanced stuff, and there are just things that nylon can do that other materials can't. I'll
Yeah,
give you
yeah,
an
yeah.
example. Like my kids' daycare, they have this gate so the kids don't get out, right? And
Yeah,
I wanted to design. I tried to make it out of wood, and the wood shattered. But I wanted to design basically a bump gate so that you could
yeah,
hit the gate and it would shut, right? So kids don't
yeah.
get out. And I made it out of PETG, and it just within a week just destroyed. I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
PETG has great impact resistance, but it's not nylon. I made one out of nylon 6 months ago. That gate probably gets slammed 30, 40, 50, 60 times a day,
yeah,
and it looks like new. So I'm of the second school of thought where I'm like, look, I don't want it to be the case where we say, for
yeah,
most things people 3D print, these materials are good enough. I want it to be, well, what could I 3D print if I can print carbon fiber nylon at home? And there are a lot of projects that I do, because I have access to these machines and materials that I think, man, I could never do this with the normal materials. Like,
yeah,
look at this. This is
yeah,
crazy. This is, I think, carbon fiber nylon for that super
yeah,
rigidity, mixed with PETG, or sorry, mixed with TPU, obviously on a
yeah,
multi-tool machine, which is going to hold a ton of weight. And it's like, the PLA is not going to cut it with this.
yeah, yeah,
PETG is not going to cut it with this. When you're supporting 5 kilos on this tiny little. So
yeah.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. But I think it's more about like how much more capacity can we push to people at home, right?
Yeah, yeah. From our view is like this. We have to in the future, from now in a few years, we want everyone has an can print nylon. But
Yeah.
for the moment, in this very moment, we are worried about the situation. And when you are a manufacturer, okay, you see the possibilities and so on, but you have to test the market. And
Right.
the market says that this is a very niche market so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
And we how to make it profit. We have to make it profit in the long term,
Right.
not now. So we have to make the people print at home step by step, growing step by step, but constantly. And
Yeah.
in the end, you will get the market, but it won't be from now from 1 2 years.
Yeah. I wonder. I think the answer is probably going to be a little bit of both, but I wonder if it's more about education, right? Like educating people that actually you can, and by the way, it's not just nylon, right? We're talking about lots of materials, PCTG and CPE, and I mean, I've been playing around with a PTFE, PETG composite that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like PET is another one. There's so many filaments and each has its own thing. And I wonder if the challenge is it education, telling people like why you should print with this, how you should print with it, or is it, you know, on some level, I think we needed, I mean, okay, first and foremost, we needed the enclosed machines for safety, right, to print a lot of these materials. That's now happened. Only now we're starting to get machines shipping with hardened nozzles as a default. That wasn't a thing. Heated chambers, right? That helps. All this stuff helps. So maybe you have thoughts on it, but I think it's a combination of education and the actual materials getting better, the printers getting better. You know, let's do a quick survey. What's keeping you guys in chat from printing things like carbon fiber, nylon, or let's stick with, you know, carbon fiber, nylon. What prevents you from printing them? We can see.
Yep.
But in the meantime, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, from our point of view, there is the situation is that 3D to get this education and so on, we have to make 3D printing affordable for everyone, and everyone knows what 3D printing is. Because, for example, in Spain, you say to a common person in a bar or in a pub what's 3D printing is, and they don't have any idea that you can have your printing at home.
Yeah.
So this is the first point and the very beginning. And from then, more and more in schools, children starting to get the 3D printing and to familiarize with they are familiar with the 3D printers and the filaments, what a nozzle is, what the filament is, how to print. And from then, the education, when you start printing at 10 years, from then you can have a better knowledge and a better and know more about the materials, so you can
Right.
have a better printings.
You know what? It's two things we missed, or maybe three, which is a lot of people in chat, and Thomas and Tom both said price, which is the prices of nylons have to come down. I do know that Sunlu now has a super affordable PA12 CF and PA6. It's like $40 a kilo or $45. It's very affordable. The price is definitely one, especially pure nylon and stuff like that. And then the other one that I didn't think about was, I guess two more. Jacques says having to keep the nylon dry. It's more of a hassle than dealing with other filaments. And I want to make sure I ask you guys about filament dryers, because obviously you're pro nylon. And then the third one that I just realized is profiles, right? Like so many of these printers that I get for review, you get a PLA profile, a PETG profile, maybe an ABS profile, but besides like Bamboo Lab, Prusa, now Creality has gotten way better. A lot of the manufacturers, when you get your printer, they don't just give you profiles for pure nylon, and I think that's such a big hurdle for people to go and figure it out. Like these materials, especially like the more exotic ones, and you know, a PA12 CF 15% is going to be different than a 20%. They behave very differently. So yeah, that's interesting. Tell me about drying, by the way. Like you guys run a print farm, you're doing a lot of nylon. Do you have a recommended brand of dryer that you guys like? I know it's humid where you guys are, I'm pretty sure.
Una marca de secadoras que recomendemos.
Creality.
We recommend,
La nueva
Very
que
cool.
tiene la PI.
The new version PI.
The
It's
Pi,
really,
the Space Pi. I've heard really good things about that. Yeah, I really want to try it out. They sent me one, but it was 110 volt. But I've heard really good things, and what I've heard is really good about the Space Pi is the ergonomics. You can load and unload the filament without, you know, the lid thing.
In the event that we organize in Spain, 3D printer party, They are all one, because in Spain we also distribute some Creality products, and in the people was especially surprised about the, the capabilities, and also they can dry the filament at 85 degrees. So
Right.
it's really interesting products from our point of view. It's a really interesting product, and
Yeah, I
also
didn't
just
realize like I had a bunch of CF nylon, and I didn't realize like I literally couldn't dry it until I
yeah,
got, for me it's the Sunlu E2, because almost every dryer on the market dries to 70. You need to dry nylons at 80 or 85 plus.
85.
So it's
Yeah,
like basically
and
once you open it, it's, unless you have a
yeah,
dryer that reaches that temperature, it's never going to be good
yeah,
again.
perfect. Yeah, and also because in Spain many people say, okay, you have to dry the filament at 85 degrees for one day, and they said, okay, what if I dry for 2 days 40 degrees? That is the maximum. So they said it doesn't work like this. So for because with the fi- with the dryer, it's you need to get the 85 degrees,
Right.
the perfect temperature.
Though in all fairness, and I'm working on a video about this and a bunch of other like dirty hacks, if you're not
Yeah.
dealing with carbon fiber, big caveat, no carbon fiber and no RFID filament, like no RFID tags, microwave all day long. Literally, if you put nylon in there, ABS, you shouldn't use the microwave that you use for food, but it will extract the water better and faster than any dryer. If you think about just the physics of it, it's literally boiling the water out. And so, again, it's a non-starter for any carbon fiber because it will catch fire. But I learned that from Igor of My Tech Fund. Like, literally take any filament, even TPUs, stuff like that, that love sucking up water, put it in the microwave, 30 seconds on, 5 minutes off, 30 seconds on, 5 minutes off. Within half an hour, you have dry filament, like really dry. But most of the time, the nylons have carbon fiber, and that's
Yeah.
that doesn't work. Well, I guess so. We've kind of come to our natural end here. I think it's really interesting what you guys are doing. I think more products that make it easier for people to print more exotic filaments, I'm definitely in favor of. I do want to ask, as far as nylons go, any brands you recommend, since clearly you guys are working with different manufacturers, you're testing a bunch of different nylons. Are there, if someone in the audience is listening and they're like, I want to try 3D lac and I want to try nylon, what's your kind of go-to, hey, this is a good beginner brand of nylon?
Para los filamentos que recomendemos para empezar con el nylon, si recomendamos alguno en especial.
No, o sea, cualquiera, mientras entre más puro sea, pues nada.
We don't have any preferences, but as the purer the nylon is, the better.
Fair enough. Well, gentlemen, we will put a link in the description below to 3D lac if people want to check it out. And also, I know you guys sell on Amazon quite a bit. And I really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your story and teaching us a little bit about printing with nylon as well. So thanks so much.
Thanks to you, and anything you need or any of your audience, if they need anything from our side, they can contact in our website, and we will be more than happy to help you to get the perfect printing on nylon.
Amazing. All right. Consultation included. I love it. All right, guys, I'll take us out and we can debrief. And thanks to everyone who tuned in live and who listened to the episode. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to the Infill Podcast. For show notes or links to anything mentioned in today's episode, visit thenextlayer.com. If you enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to leave us a review wherever you're listening, or click the like button to let us know. And consider subscribing to The Next Layer on YouTube so you can tune in live and participate in the next conversation. We'll see you on The Next Layer.